Hey there, everybody, and welcome into episode 12 of Let's Talk About, where today I'm going to change things up a little bit from the usual topics I've been having. With it being close to baseball season, as spring training games have just started recently, I wanted to get into the baseball mood and talk about the fantasy baseball league I've been in the last. This year would be 26 years, I believe. 25, 26, something like that. I've been in the league for a very long time. Lots to go over with this one today. I'll go over a little bit of the history of the league, how it got started, how things have gone and developed as seasons have gone on. Looking ahead to like this coming season and all that, and just going from there. So I'm on our main site right now. We've been using CBSSports.com as our hub for the last quite a while, probably 20 or so years thereabouts. Maybe not that long. I'd say at least 15 years. Um, but in the old days when the draft first started, this would have been. I think it started back in 2000. Like the actual like our league here and everything that's been going. We would do everything by hand. We would all meet in person for draft day, which would normally be later in March. Usually the last or second to last Sunday in March. With this one in particular this year, with Palm Sunday being on the last Sunday of the month, we actually have the draft moved up to March 22nd. So it's a week earlier than normal. But it's, of course, all done online these days. But yeah, before we would normally all meet up at McDonald's in town, this being Mount Pleasant, PA, where I was growing up. We'd have breakfast there first to hang out for a bit, and then we'd sometimes have the draft there. Or My mom worked for a golf course actually way back when called Timber Ridge, and we would rent out the at least part of the area, if not the entire building, to use for the draft itself. We have lunch there. We put in our picks whenever it was our turn to pick. Then, as we were when we were kids, we would just hang out with any other kids that were there because it'd be a whole family thing there, really. Um, so yeah, we had plenty of kids there our age, and my brother and I would hang out with the entire day. It was always such a good time back then. Yeah, of course, now everything's being done online. We have a live chat we use in the draft room to talk to everybody there, which I don't really use that much. I know a lot of the older guys do tend to chat every now and then. Um, we've actually had a pretty big shakeup as far as teams go in our league this year. We've had I think 6 teams actually leave the league. And we got 6 new teams in to replace all of them, so I'm curious how that'll go over. They just took over the teams. Um, Obviously, the new people took over the assigned teams or whatever from the old ones there. So yeah, so they'll be set up well, but obviously they'll see how things play out. Because our league, I would say it's a pretty complex league. We try to keep ours as close to like actual Major League Baseball as possible, and it's been that way ever since, really. But I'll get into that as we're going along here as well, how the scoring works and all that. For the last quite a few years, I've been um, sharing the team managing duties with my friend Brandon that I've known from since oh my god, I've known him for 20 odd years, I'd say, if not even longer than that actually. Um, and we definitely had a rough start when I first got a team of my own. Because yeah, my first year or two actually was just on a team with my dad. He did all like the managerial stuff there and all that. I was pretty much just there in name only. But then I think when I was like 12 or 13, that's when I got my own team. And then I was my cousin Matt and I. We shared duties with the team for a little bit. And then he moved on from that, and then I got my friend Brandon to help out with things there. And yeah, we work really well together with this. We'll hash out um, any trades we ever want to make with other teams. There, like usually I'll handle most of that stuff there myself. But anything trade wise, of course, I will always run by him first. Like, hey, I'm looking to like maybe upgrade our outfield or upgrade our starting pitching. Here's some trade offers I have out to teams right now. Let me know if these look good to you or if you want to tinker anything. Stuff like that. I make sure to run anything by him to make just obviously to make sure I don't want to do this. It'd be unfair to not have his input on stuff because it is our team. Obviously, yeah, we split the lead fee and all that each year. Just, yeah, actually, we do play for money in our league. It's a $100 league fee, which goes toward. Now my dad's been commissioner the whole time. He takes care of the upkeep of the site there and all that to let us host our league on here and everything. But yeah, we do have money prizes for first, second, and third place. And then in the last few weeks of the season, we'll do high score weeks. So whoever has the high score at the end of the week will get the I think it's $20. So anything of that, it usually just goes toward paying for next year's fee. That's what I normally do anyway. And any money you get after that goes to the actual teams themselves there. And in our case, anything that we win after that is split between me and Brandon. So that works out perfectly there. So let's go into where do I even want to start with the lead here? Well, I guess the home page. Hopefully the font is okay enough to see. In my OBS window, it is rather small because the window itself in OBS is pretty small. And the actual video, it should be fine. And of course, there's no background audio for this, so don't worry about that. So yeah, the draft details there. Draft order. We didn't do terribly bad last year. Okay, so I see we don't have a first round pick. Yeah, we tend to trade away picks to try. We did that a lot last season. Because the site allows you to trade picks, although we're actually not doing that anymore. Only off-season trading picks. But yeah, we're trying to trade picks for. Well, last season we would have traded the ones for this season to try and get players to help us win for last season. Unfortunately, didn't pan out. But that's the way it goes sometimes. So yeah, so we do not have a first, second, or third round pick next year, and I'm fine with that. But we do have a fourth round pick there to start, which is nice. Because yeah, we had a pretty decent finish last year. I think we just missed the playoffs last year. I don't remember. I can of course look because yeah, there's a whole history and all of that here and everything. So actually, I'll go to that here next. Any research you'd ever want to do is all on the site here because CBS posts articles for like everything really, like outfield. Like I see outfield right there, but yeah, rankings for all the positions. Guys who are considered sleepers for the next season, or who do have a breakout season, or guys who are overrated or underrated, etc., etc. So anything and everything you want to know for draft day, you have it all right here. It's so much easier now too, because everybody has access to the same info. Before, to really have success in our league, you would really have to do your own research and buy baseball magazines for fantasy baseball and all that for all the rankings there and such. Yeah, so it is, I would say, a fairly easy barrier to entry just because all the info is here on CBS. Though I will say new teams tend to not do that well, at least to start. But once they learn how things go, then they, of course, get a lot better. But yeah, we got essentially, not really a message board, but just, yeah, you can the league feed here for comments and such and all that there. Yeah, there's a league champions and all that. I forget what year it was. I think in 2019, we how did we do? I think we lost in the semifinals, but I think the score we had in the third place game would have been enough to beat the first and second place teams. So we actually could have had our first three-peat in league history these years right here. But it was nice having a back-to-back there because, yeah, we hadn't won our own championship. I mean, I had these ones here with my dad before, and I don't really count those. But yeah, then we had some down years for a while, having my own team there and such. But really, yeah, once we got going to 2016, 2017 or so, yeah, that's when we really started kicking in. We've made the playoffs, I think, every year from 2016 onward, I'm pretty sure. Let me think. I think we lost to our dad, actually, right here in the championship that year. And then, yeah, they won it back-to-back, which is fantastic. Yeah, we actually did a really, really nice trophy. Whoever wins the league championship has all of the team names engraved on it from over the years there. So that's super cool. Yeah, we did to keep that for a while. I keep it in my house or wherever for a while. And then did it over to Brandon there as well, so he can keep it for a while, too. Um, and yeah, the last one is in won the championship in 2022. Then yeah, obviously you have haven't had as much success in the championships and all that lately, but that's the way it goes. We had a guy just last season who was new to the league that first season and almost won it. But then yeah, I think he lost to my dad actually. And then yeah, then he already left the league. So his team was really good. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised he didn't stay. But also like he was more used to like the dynasty leagues out there and such. And our league is not that. And he like kept trying to change or like propose rule changes to like kind of made things better for himself, really, and not for the better of the entire league. So it got kind of annoying after a while. So he's gone, thankfully. But yeah, there's the cheat sheet there, ratings and all that stuff there. So let's go into the league history here next, actually. There's not really much else in there for right now. Um, See, of course, yeah, no surprise. My dad has the most championships out of everybody here. He's been in the league the longest, and he just seems to always have good teams no matter what. He seems to always get lucky too. Like, he'll pick up somebody on their or waiver wire, like say a pitcher we called up to start or whatever, or um, a minor league player gets called up to just fill in for an injury or whatever, and then he'll score like a ton of points that week. There, he seems to always get lucky with that, but there is a lot of luck involved with the lead here, anyhow. Um, I think actually, wait a second. Didn't this a side note here? Didn't the Giants win the World Series in 2012, 14, and 16? I want to say it's kind of an odd coincidence there, if that's actually true. Um, but yeah, there's our three championships here. I'm going to go over ours in particular here in a little bit. But yeah, I think my dad has been responsible for putting in all the lead info here, getting this all compiled. So yeah, so we have the fifth overall best record um, out of the history of the teams here, which is pretty crazy. No surprise, my dad has the best record overall, and everybody else here as well. There's been a lot of people in our league over the years that have come and gone. Yeah, no surprise. Yeah, of course, again, my dad consistently top finish. It's rare for him to have a bad season, really. But yeah, there's year by year, and yeah, this stuff doesn't update until like in the off season there, really. Um, so yeah, let's go to yeah, I want to go to 2022 for our third championship here. Because I think actually we still have the record here for the most points scored in a game. Because how the scoring works, we play the weeks go from Monday to Sunday, and we just play 8 games a week. You play everybody in your division, and then 3 teams from the other division each week there. So the 5 teams from your division, because we have 2 divisions of 6 and 6. So you always play all 5 teams in your division every week, and then 3 from the other division. And then you set your lineup each day for all your positions there and starting pitchers and all of that. And I'll go over that here soon and when I get there. And then, of course, you just follow the live scoring every day, and it's all added up at the end of the week. And then, of course, your record goes from there. So, yeah, so we had not only the second best record overall in the league, but, yeah, we won the championship that season, which was fantastic. I guess here's how the playoff bracket went there. So, yeah, so we had a bye week to start. So, yeah, so we didn't play till the third round here. We played against Mike here. So, yeah, we won the first game there. So, yeah, we do 2 weeks for the playoffs here. So, yeah, so we won both weeks there. Second week pretty handily, which was nice. And then the championship here, my dad beat us by a little bit there, but then we beat him by a bunch. Second week there, because of course the scores add up totally. So yeah, so we beat him by about 100 points overall between both weeks there to win that championship there. But yeah, this should be here in the record book, I believe. I want to see where would it be? Oh yeah, points. Oh wait, just not. Oh wait, let's do 2022. Yeah, let's do team records here. Okay, yeah. So we also had the most points scored overall. In that one season. Also, yeah, the most points scored just for any particular game, and that of course came in the championship there, which that's insane because scoring 2,000 points in a week in our league would guarantee you a win at any point during the season there. Except maybe the first week because we do a longer week. This opening day is usually like in the middle of the week, so we'll start then. But then our week one counts as those first few days of the week plus the next full week after that. So scores are a lot higher then than normal because after that we do a standard 7 day week. Yeah, like I said, from Monday to Sunday there. So yeah, the fact that my dad put up 2,000 points that week and still lost by over 100 is insane. And I'm also not even sure this score could ever be topped. This 2139 is just ridiculous. And it's also kind of such we needed to score that well, because if we didn't, we may have lost. Because obviously, yeah, we lost by 17 the first week there, so we were already essentially losing by 17 in the second week there. So yeah, to have that insane of a week there helped us obviously clinch a championship there, which is nice. It's always kind of a nice thing to beat my dad in particular, just because he wins just all the time. Let's go to 2018 next. We also had the most points scored that season overall. Let's see here. So yeah, we won our division. Also had the second best record overall in the league. You'd love to see that. So let's see. So yeah, we beat this guy Phil by a bit the first week. And then second week we won by a good bit. And actually played my brother in the championship that year. Beat him pretty handily both weeks there. And then 2017, that was our first, like, I consider that our first actual real championship that we won. Because, yeah, those first two, like I said before with my dad, I don't really count those. So how do we do here? So, okay, so we had 3 divisions of 4 this season. 110 and 56. Who did we, let's see, so we beat, this guy's name was Dan, I think. He's not in the lead anymore. We beat him the first round of the playoffs there. We didn't have a bye. Then we beat JJ. We destroyed him in the second week of our game. Wow. And then against our dad here, beat him by a lot that first week. And then he won by 12, but he still lost by like, what is that, over 300 overall. So yes, it's been nice to finally have some league championships to our own name there. So let's shift into... let's do league details. Because, yeah, we do live scoring, of course. Pretty much anything that happens in a game is worth points. Like, pitchers getting a singular out is a point. If they get a strikeout, it's worth 2. It's all broken down here as well, so I don't need to go over all of that. I think we updated some stuff here as far as points go. I don't recall for sure. But yeah, we have our full roster lineup there too, and I'll go over the team here in a little bit there too, because that's a lot to go over with that as well. Okay, this is new here for catchers, because we never had this before. Pitching, I think this has been updated some here as well. So it might seem like a lot, and it kind of is at first, especially for new teams to the league. But I mean, everything you need to know is right on the site, so you just take a little bit of time to sit down and just read over everything, and you'll be good to go. So there's all that. Yeah, do I still? Yeah, here's our finances tab. Here's for people who owe stuff there. Okay, so yeah, so we owe a little bit into next season, but we can just split that whenever. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. And yeah, there's a glossary. I actually never even really looked at the glossary tab here. Well, actually, this might be fun for me to look over at some point if I'm just killing time, but I'm not gonna go into that right now. Let's see here. So you have our transactions. It keeps track of like all the ad drops, all the trades that go on throughout the season, stuff like that. Let's see. Draft results not really important now, but obviously will be once draft day is done. Keepers. This is a pretty unique system we have. So you're allowed to keep players I definitely clicked on that uh, computer. Come on, there we go. Okay. So yeah, so we have a limit of 9 for the player's contracts there. So like if you freshly draft a player, um, they have a contract of 1, right? If you wanted to keep them for next year, it would cost you that 1. If you had kept somebody from the year before, um, and want to keep them again, that would make them a 2 of a contract. And you have up to a 9 that you're able to do. Usually, if you're falling out of the playoffs and trying to set yourself up well for next year, you give a team in the playoff hunt, you try to trade away one of your like higher contract players to get yourself set up well for next year, either doing usually picks or prospects or both if you can swing that. If you have like a really, really good player, like say Aaron Judge or Otani, for example, and if they're of contract of like a 3 or even a 4, you can sell them at the deadline if you know you're going to be out of it for a king's ransom, essentially, of like prospects and high picks for next season. If you're like if you already know you're going to be out of it there. Trade block. I am on the trade block all the time because I absolutely love making trades. I am the type of player people would probably find annoying because I send trade offers to teams all the time. And a lot of times trades will get rejected, sure. But then it's like some of those trades will go through. And for me, whenever I do trades, every trade I make builds to the next one. To say like I'll trade a couple of guys, I'll do like a 2-for-1 deal. Like if we're weaker, say like first base or catcher or outfield or whatever, I'll try to do a 2-for-1. Try to see where a team is like a little bit weaker, but that's kind of subjective because I could see one end and they could see the other end. It just it's again all subjective there. Um, but I try to find good matchups for teams there. Like if I have a surplus of say outfielders and they don't have outfielders, or like I have a lot of pitching and they don't, I'll try to trade from our strength to where another team needs improvement. So like kind of both teams can kind of win the deal essentially, right? So they're trying to make deals fair and all that, but also like maybe trying to like maybe our side coming out a little bit more ahead. Um, but it's nice too whenever you send a trade, the site lets you send a comment like be like, hey, I'm interested in this guy. I can do this offer here. If you want to do a counter offer, let me know. And then yeah, you can usually get a good back and forth going, and then get a deal done. I'm very curious how the new guys will be with trades there and such. Because I know one guy, Larry, I trade with him a lot. Another guy, Greg, I traded with him a lot too. Other guy who's not in the lead anymore, JJ, he would be a good trade partner there as well. So yeah, hoping these guys are active in trades because that just makes things more fun for me. Like when nobody trades, I just find that really boring, honestly. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, you can update your on the block there for players that you're looking for, either positions or stuff like that. There, then you, of course you can say comments here. So yeah, this is still from last year's team. We haven't had our draft yet. um, but I think also what we have to do, if you make any trades that involve players, you have to protect that player for this coming season. So like I would try to trade maybe some of these guys here for like better guys, just like these guys listed right here are going to be our protected list for this coming season. So we're keeping them for sure. So like if a team would want like Sanchez or Wheeler here, I would be happy to deal them out and get somebody better in return. I could do like a package deal to get somebody really, really good with a low contract to then keep for this coming season. But yeah, lots of other guys have their blocks updated here as well. A lot of people wanting draft picks because they are a high commodity. So let's see. So that's pretty much everything there. Let's go into the. Well, I can show off the draft. Never mind. Actually, nope, that won't pick up. I was going to go into the draft room here, but I forgot that opens a separate window, and I don't have OBS set right now to record that. So never mind. What I will do is go into draft here itself. This is where all the draft research is, all the new articles that CBS has posted. They also have the CBS Fantasy app as well, and somehow it sucks ass every single year. Like they say it gets updated or whatever. It crashes all the time when you're trying to make trades. It sometimes just flat out doesn't work. It's always such somehow, it seems like. So yeah, I made sure to read through all the articles here just at a glance to see like if any of my guys are mentioned there, like guys to look out for breakouts and stuff like that. So nice to have that. Going to our team here. Um, yeah, so we have the roster warnings here. But it's the off season. This does not matter whatsoever because once draft day rolls around, I'll be dropping a ton of these guys anyway. Besides my actual keepers. So yeah, I will be keeping Goodman, Guerrero, Suarez, Perdomo, Horner, Bregman, Acuna, Rooker, and Matthew Boyd for our pitcher there. So yeah, so 8 hitters and 1 pitcher. So we'll be leaning pitcher heavy to start the draft for sure. Because yeah, normally how I like to approach the draft will be like I pretty much alternate pitcher, position player, pitcher, position player, pitcher, position player, until the roster's filled out there. Because yeah, we have a full roster. Well, we're supposed to have a full roster, of course, when the season is actually active. So yeah, 2 catchers, first, second, third base, shortstop, middle infield, which can be second base or shortstop, corner infield, which can be either third base or first base, 6 outfielders, and then a DH that can be any position there. Then your bench, I prefer to not keep like any bench hitters really. Usually like 1 outfield and somebody else who can cover like almost everywhere in the infield. Those guys, the versatility, I love that. Um, and any minor leaguers there because they can be called up at any time to fill up for an injury, or they're like if they're just destroying AAA, they'll get called up. So it's always to stash really good prospects. Or I also use them as trade fodder pretty often. Sometimes they end up being really, really good when they're called up. Sometimes they suck. You just never know. So, the pitchers, I like to have a ton of pitchers. After draft day, we usually try to tell new teams you want to have at least 15 starting pitchers. The thing is, though, with a 12-team league and ideally having that many pitchers, the quality of starting pitchers drops off incredibly quickly. I shudder to think. Well, actually, no, we have a 4th-round pick, so there'll be some decent pitchers left then, hopefully. But yeah, like later on, the pitching quality really drops off, even with how many players there are available in general. But we are set up very, very well next season for the infield here. Having our already good catcher in Goodman, Nico Horner here. He'll probably just he'll shift up to second base if I don't draft a good second baseman already. Vlad, of course, will be handling first. Suarez at third. Perdomo at short. Bregman at corner. And then Acuna and Rooker is a nice solid outfield to start there. Then Matthew Boyd's nothing special as far as pitching goes, but he was really our only worthwhile pitcher with a 1 contract. I could have kept. We could have kept somebody like Sanchez here for the Phillies is really, really good. Or Wheeler here as well, even though he's hurt and will be out for a while. But yeah, if we kept Sanchez, we would have had to drop Boyd and somebody else to keep him, which wouldn't be terrible. Because obviously Sanchez is a way better pitcher than Boyd, just like overall. But yeah, it's like so we would have to drop one of our hitters then as well, so we'd have room for the whole 9 contract thing. And I don't know who we would drop. Maybe Horner or Perdomo. I'm not really sure actually. It's something to think about though. I can always run this by Brandon again, if need be. Let's see here. Also, forgot I have a trade out still to one of the new teams that they haven't responded to yet. I might even just rescind that trade. We'll see. All sorts of stuff here. I'm not going to go over all of this because it's just a lot. For players here, if you want to look up anybody who was just called up, or really any player whatsoever, you can do that all right here. When free agency rolls around, when ad drops start kicking in, where is it actually here? One of my favorite things to look at here, roster trends. I love using this thing here, as does the entire league, really. I definitely clicked on that twice and 3 times. Okay, that was a charm. Yeah, this will show you players who are getting picked up more frequently in all of CBS leagues, and also shows you who has been getting dropped more frequently in leagues there. So yeah, this is really a great spot to look up. Say if you're weaker at outfield or want somebody just to fill in there for a while. I look through this all the time for ad drops here. I think for the first long week we have like I think 8 of them, maybe more. I forget. With it being a longer week, and I think normally we have like 6 to use each week. You can use them whenever you want throughout the week there, except if it's Sunday into Monday, they don't go into effect until Tuesday morning. Um, so that, yeah, that's all that there. Um, so yeah, this has been yeah. I'm actually looking forward to our season quite a bit here with all the new teams here and such. A lot of the teams we had before were kind of just annoying. My brother is the exception because he's not in the lead this season either. He's been wanting to leave the lead for a while anyway. But no, he is not one of the annoying teams, obviously. No. All the other teams that are out of the lead there, they were super annoying to deal with and just like, just bleh. So yeah, a bunch of fresh faces there. Oh yeah, also, side note, I forgot to mention this. Every draft day, we always make sure we order food for that. We usually just order pizza for it. That's just been our go-to. We're going to do the same this season. Not sure what pizza we'll get, although I'm kind of leaning towards Papa John's myself. Yeah, but we'll see. I do remember this would have been in 2014? Yeah, 2014. So this was shortly after we got Crassus. We got Domino's that day, and that was actually the season my brother won the championship. Oh, wait, actually, wait, did I not? I swear I thought my dad won the season that year. Oh, no, that's 2013, that's right. Oh, wait. No, we got Crassus in 2014. Yeah, he's 12. Yeah, so yeah, my dad won the lead that year. I swear my brother did that year. Was that 2015? Wait, I'm confused. My brother has more championships than this. Why are they not showing up? Huh. Odd. Anyway. So yeah, more to the point. Yeah, we always order pizza on draft day then, and we'll be doing the same this year. There's really so much more I could probably go over here with the league because there's just so much to it. Yeah, so it's 10 in the morning that day. And then, yeah, of course, whenever it's done, I'll look over our team and everything. I'll text Brandon our draft picks there as well during draft day so he knows what's going on. Because he seems to work pretty often whenever draft day is going. So, yeah, I'll just update him as picks go. And then, of course, hit the waiver wire right away if we need to fill in any roster gaps there, which we might this season. I'm not sure. I know there was it last season or the year before? We traded away so many draft picks that we didn't even have an actual real pick until like almost halfway through the draft. Because also how it works with the keepers. It takes their contract and then it's divided by their player ranked for the position they play. And I think that's how it works. And then you lose that draft pick as compensation for that. So between all the picks we traded away, plus the guys we lost picks for in protecting, we didn't have an actual pick until like the 17th round. So I had to do a lot of trading and ad drops there within the first few weeks of the season to even fill out a roster. The first half of the last season sucked. We had a really, really bad stretch. But then amazingly, once it hit second half of the season, we were able to pull out a winning record at least. I think we did just miss the playoffs, or maybe we did squeak in. Let me see here. This was Greg's team here. So he was first seed overall. And I think Phil would have been second because he was the other division winner. So my dad would have been third. This team here was Mike. He was fourth. This team was Paul. That was fifth. Okay, so we finished sixth overall. So yeah, there's only 6 playoff teams. So the comeback from that far to even have a winning record is pretty crazy. And let's see, we almost pulled it out a playoff win here actually. kept it close the first round here against my dad, and then yeah, we beat him by 6, but it wasn't enough, just we still lost by like 60 points or whatever, which really really sucks. Um, no idea for sure how we would have done the rest of the way. It was actually a pretty low scoring playoffs actually overall. Wow. Um, but anyway, so yeah, that's the lead in a nutshell. I will probably talk about this more and like it's just in passing in later videos as the season's going on, for like something to talk about there. But yeah, I'm again, I am legitimately excited for fantasy baseball season starting up here soon because I always like following the scores there and all that, making trades, watching the waiver wire stuff like that. Plus, draft day is always fun there too. Alrighty. Let's get this dumb ad paused here. Also, yeah, CBS is loaded with ads. I can't really do anything about that. So I think that'll do it. Side notes, I don't really have a topic of discussion for next Sunday yet. I'm sure I will by then. Um, so while I'm here, actually, I can throw this out here. If there's anything you guys would like for me to talk about, let me know. I never mentioned it before, but it was still this was still true. I am open to suggestions for topics here, just to make that fully clarified now. Oh, with all that said, guys, this has been Mr. Movies 7 signing off. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.